Maria Clara Andrash, Kennedy Martin, two of the best up front in all of the nation, Victoria.
Andrash is an all-around volleyball athlete. Disciplined defense, crafty offense. She is the heartbeat for South Florida. Kennedy Martin, well, her numbers are going to speak for themselves as we continue throughout the duration of this ball game, but watch for Martin to continue to have that high hand-to-ball contact, carving up a block out in front of her.
Martin is just 4 kills away from 600 this season. Two-time All-SEC player at Florida before transferring to Penn State. Ava Faldudo with the ball in her hand, and the sophomore from Elmhurst, Illinois, gets it started here in Austin. Andrash gets it blocked back. Dig from the back row by Addie Bruce. And it's Maggie Mendelson getting the first point for Penn State.
Penn State wants to establish the middle of their court early on, and that's exactly what they did there, running down the middle, trying to go fast.
Mendelson, senior from North Ogden, Utah, second team, all Big Ten. Set up in the middle, but Martin is there for the Nittany Lions. Setting up Emmy Selman. Faldudo keeps the point alive. And Martin lobs it in, 2-0 Penn State.
Martin being able to score because of her vision. That was a great play by the veteran, being able to see the defense dug out right in front of her, seeing that open opportunity up and over that block.
So now 597 kills this season. She's almost at 5.5 kills per set. Addie Lyon sets up Selman. Nice job by Bruce to keep the point alive for the Bulls. Same on the other end by Faldudo. Even better dig, Samia Foster. Longest point of the match, and it goes to South Florida, their first point this afternoon.
South Florida has to be ready for elongated rallies, especially against the defense of Penn State. South Florida has to be ready to cover all of their attackers, control the ball in transition, and earn points.
And that's Andrash, now with 442 kills this season. That leads all the American. Imani Hartfield, 6-year graduate from Sanford, Florida, serves for the Bulls. Martin, no question there.
Martin is so elite on the right side. As a right-handed attacker on the right side, it's so important for you to get your feet to the ball. Watch as she gets her feet all the way to the apex of that volleyball and uses that length to cut up that block inside.
Ryan to Selman, and an early 4-1 lead for Penn State.
Selman doing a great job of just finding a solution play. She wasn't really able to take a full swing on that ball, so that's exactly what she went to, is that power tip to beat that block.
Selman second on the squad in kills coming in at 13 her last match against Iowa. Grimes keeps the point alive for Penn State. And a little bit of luck on South Florida's end as they get the point.
And the Bulls are going to take that little bit of luck, and they'll take all they can against Penn State. Now, this is where South Florida has to go back to the service line and maybe chip away 1 to 2 points, try and establish an early rhythm here in set number 1.
Don't see points often by the setter, but Foster gets her 3rd kill of the season. Now, Maya Thomas, junior from Gainesville, Florida, serves. Blocked! First block of the match, Ayana Garvin.
What a block by Garvin, closing into that seam. Watch as Garvin is able to just press into that seam throughout the duration of this game.
Well, this squad, of course, not used to being in the NCAA tournament, but South Florida's head coach Jolene Shepherdson was part of the Bulls squad in 2002, the last squad that made it this far. Another good dig by Foster. That's in. South Florida's tied it up.
The Bulls finding a way to score in transition, and they're doing it because a controlled first ball contact is giving them that opportunity to run plays in trans. They're scoring down the middle.
Addie Bruce, sophomore from Cincinnati, Ohio, her first kill of the match.
I like that quick pick down the middle, the center of the court. Watch for the Bulls to keep doing that.
Tough serve, Faldudo just gets to it, and Selman able to get the point for the Nittany Lions.
Selman stands at 6'4", the sophomore outside hitter, does a great job of playing like an upperclassman as an underclassman, and that really comes with confidence, experience, and being able to have that high volley IQ.
Well, we've talked about Kennedy Martin's ability at the net. 45 aces, 6th in the Big Ten. She serves. Andrash going to block back. Fight at the net. Chance for the Bulls. From the back row, it's Bruce.
Back-to-back kills from Bruce has been on that big attack, both in system and out of system for Bruce. She's been a steady part of the offense for the Bulls, and this is exactly why, because she's a utility player. She can score in the front and back row.
Bruce 5 double-doubles this season, including against Florida and Kansas. Andrash serves, 30 aces on the season. Long off Selman is the Bulls' first lead of the afternoon.
Bulls continuing to chip away at the service line, staying patient on defense, which is forcing these couple of unforced errors on the side of Penn State.
A 5-1 run for Andrash's Bulls. She serves again. Ace! Bulls have certainly settled in now.
What an ace. Great hand-to-ball contact from Andrash, carving up that seam, specifically the 1-6 seam there.
Selman. Thomas keeps the point alive. South Florida thinks that should be their point, and it is. An error by Gabrielle Nichols.
The Bulls are feeling in rhythm right now. A couple unforced errors on the side of Penn State, and being able to earn in transition is exactly how the Bulls have a 3-point lead.
We wondered how experience may play out. This team, first NCAA tournament appearance in 23 years on a 7-1 run. South Florida, one of the last 4 teams into this year's NCAA tournament, and Jolene Shepardson told us she's surprised it took so long. Well, slow rise to this point. First 3 seasons with the Bulls, 23-52. In fact, her first year, they won just 1 conference match. 2024, they won the regular season crown, lost in the conference tournament, did not get an at-large, but that changed in 2025. A .630 winning percentage her last 3 seasons.
It's impressive what Coach Shepardson has done, and what a full circle moment from being an athlete in the tournament to now a head coach in postseason play in the NCAA tournament. And she said, I believe this is exactly what I was hired to do, bring us back to where we were. And she said, we want to show we can play very good volleyball.
The Andrash service error makes it 8-6 South Florida, a 7-2 run for the Bulls. Selman, sophomore from Burtonsville, Maryland, serves. Layla Ivy, her first swing, her first kill.
What a swing by Layla Ivy, carving up high line. Now, if you're able to execute a high line swing on the left side, good things are going to happen, because see that gap right there? She was able to thread that needle fast and beat the defender down the line.
Missed all of last season due to injury at Maryland, transferred to South Florida, second team All-American Conference. Dig on the back line was from Andrash, and then after Martin was able to get to that swing off the other end, it falls in front of Jillian Grimes. The run continues, a 9-2 South Florida run now.
This dig from Andrash, keeping her team alive. It didn't need to be in system, it just needed to be up to give the Bulls the opportunity to put the ball back across the tape. They found a point with it.
Kennedy Martin from the back row.
Martin with authority. She wants the ball always on the court, and this is exactly why, because she puts up points and she's able to score from any route, anywhere on the court.
3 kills already in the early going. That served long off Nichols. So what's been the key after getting down 4-1 for South Florida surge?
Well, South Florida has been earning points on their side. They're not giving away anything right now. They have 6 kills with 0 attack errors, not to mention they're passing at 60%. Penn State, they're passing just above 37% at the moment.
That point was all set up by a nice serve. Jocelyn Nathan kept the point alive, but it still goes to South Florida. And Reagan Richardson, sophomore from South Jensen Beach, Florida, will serve again. Still 12-8 South Florida after the service error.
David, we were talking about defense, and that's exactly what the Bulls are doing right now as well. They have the only block on the board, 7 digs to their name, Penn State with 6, but the difference is that the Bulls are converting those digs in transition.
Nittany Lions serve, goes wide.
Point South Florida. And the ball's number 12, Abby Bruce.
Bulls come in at 17-12, 3-4 in their last 7, but looking good so far. And to the point you made a moment ago, Victoria, both teams 6 kills, but the 4 attacking errors, all by the Nittany Lions. Good swing. Caroline Juravicious, sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, gets the kill.
Juravicious carving up inside, doing a great job on the right side of being that fresh energy, coming in, previously played at Nebraska, and knows what it takes to win a national championship. She was on the roster last year with Penn State and is a really great spark plug off the bench.
Had 20 kills in the national semifinal win last year over Nebraska. Off the long ball, an easy kill for Mendelson as the Nittany Lions are within 3. Under former Nittany Lion Katie Schumacher-Colley, who last season became the first female head coach to lead a team to an NCAA Division I national championship. She was also part of Penn State's first national championship squad in 1999, a 2-time All-American with the Nittany Lions. And Josh gets the kill for second.
And that's exactly how the Bulls are going to earn against that big block of the Natty Lions. Andrash knows she sees that big block out in front and uses it to her advantage, tooling high hands.
Andrash, a 4-year Bull senior from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Hartfield serves. Right at the pan, Ariana Beckham.
Great lifted dig in transition, giving all offensive threats available for the Bulls, and it's Beckham that'll find the point with it. A one-on-one opportunity, and she takes advantage, beating that block into the seams.
Senior from Atlanta, Georgia, second on the Bulls in kills. Martin, brother Mendelson, hanging in the air and able to find the space in the middle.
A little bit of a miscontact, but Mendelson will take it. A point is a point on the stat sheet.
Our 3rd kill. Nittany Lions within 4. There's Jillian Grimes, senior from West Cheshire, Illinois, serves. Andrash got it blocked back. Nichols and Martin were there.
Martin closing the block on the pin, and that comes with vision and hand placement. Watch as Martin tracks this ball all the way to the pin and sets that block up perfectly for Penn State.
Martin 3rd on the team in blocks, in addition to all her kills. Fight at the net, and Penn State gets the point. So now Nittany Lions on the quick run within 2.
So because setter for South Florida, Richardson, is back row, she can't jump and contact the ball, that joust moment with Penn State. So therefore, she's called on that. It's an illegal point, and point to Penn State.
And after the 3rd straight point by the Nittany Lions, Jolene Shepherdson uses her first timeout. So then both of our head coaches coaching at their alma maters. Just great stories. We mentioned Katie Schumacher-Colley, 1999, winning a national championship, and then coming back first as an assistant and now head coach of the Nittany Lions. Jolene Shepherdson back in 2002 led the Bulls to the last NCAA tournament appearance 23 years ago. Both so happy to be back at their alma maters, and a pleasure to talk to them both yesterday.
I mean, talking with both of these coaches, they are just amazing human beings, and to be able to run such elite programs that they do, I mean, it's just a testament to their character on the court and off the court and the programs that they've built both at South Florida and Penn State.
Jolene Shepherdson, a unique path to getting to the NCAA tournament, becoming head coach in January 2020, 2 months before the COVID pandemic began. So what's at stake? Of course, Penn State, no one's been to more NCAA tournaments than the Nittany Lions, 45 of 45, and they're looking to get to the second round for the 36th straight time. South Florida just looking for their 3rd second round appearance in program history.
pretty impressive. They've had a ticket to the dance since 1981.
This, by the way, the first time Penn State is playing the first and second rounds away from home since the tournament was expanded to 64 teams in 1998. Of course, early in the season, our All-American setter Izzy Stark announcing her departure from Penn State, now in the transfer portal, saying she needed to concentrate on her mental health, and Penn State has only been supportive to Stark, but a challenging season for the Nittany Lions. It's a 4-0 run now after the ace by Grimes. Samia Foster prevents the ace. Chance for the Nittany Lions to tie. Nichols, though, is wide.
Great run there by the Natty Lions, being able to make it a bit of a closer game, but South Florida still with that 2-point lead. Watch for the Bulls here to try and run down the middle again. That quick big has been working.
Maya Thomas, hip surgery last year. This season, coming on strong enough to have almost 200 digs. She delivers the serve, and it ends with a Kennedy Martin point.
Martin is so elite because of her point of contact. She's not dropping her elbow. She has full extension every time she's making contact on this ball. So she's well above the blocks that are out in front.
4 kills on 5 swings from Martin, hitting .800. Andrash gets it blocked, and the Nittany Lions have come back to tie this up.
Natty Lion there with a big block on the right side. Standing at 5'9", she has those hops to be in the right place at the right time and press her hands fast across that tape.
Her 34th block of the season. Great serve by Martin. Penn State takes the lead.
Kennedy Martin stands at 6'6", so her point of contact when she's serving on the end line is above the net. So even on this float serve, her hand-to-ball contact is about 2 feet above the net. So this ball is coming down at the serve receive and fast.
This was 15-10 South Florida at one point. And so what has Penn State done now to take the lead quickly?
Well, they've earned points on their side, and they've really leveled up their service game. They're serving specific locations, really making the serve receive of the Bulls have to adjust, keep them guessing. And Penn State has gotten the Bulls out of system here in the middle part of this set number 1.
At one point, the Nittany Lions were hitting well below 200. They're up to 208. So it's 4 more kills than the Bulls. Well, I apologize, 2 more kills than the Bulls so far this set. South Florida was over 400 when they had their biggest lead of the set, and now it's down to 250. Penn State has won 8 national titles, including 4 straight from 2007 through 2010. No one has a better NCAA tournament history than the Nittany Lions. Looking to get to the second round yet again. Mentioned 45 of 45 appearances in the NCAA tournament. Second in titles with 8, apologies, not first. Third with 11 finals appearances, and 4th all-time in tournament wins.
Pretty incredible that this is the first time since the tournament was expanded to 64 teams that they're playing the first round away from home.
Looking for their 36th consecutive first-round win. They get a Andrash out of the timeout, and Emmy Selman keeps the point alive. In the corner, Ayana Garvin.
Garvin does a really great job of getting on her routes off of 1 foot specifically. Watch as she tracks this ball on the slide, keeps the ball out in front, and uses that hip to come all the way around to swing high down the line.
Andrash serves. Martin. Second time she has delivered from that exact same spot.
It is so fun to hit in the back row because you get to broad jump so far. Watch Martin as she gets on her route, broad jumps, and contacts this ball well like a front row attack. That's what makes her so lethal, is her length and athletic ability to broad jump into that ball.
She's now at 601 kills, and leader in kills for South Florida. Andrash breaks the run. We're tied up.
Coming into the red zone here, the Natty Lions really have to lock in this first ball side out. So that is front row for Penn State. Watch for them to spread that offense.
Foster serves for South Florida. How about a trickery by Martin to give Penn State the lead back?
And that's great volley IQ. She just ripped one from the center of the court and recognized that the Bulls defense was then dug in, allowing her that opportunity to find the donut of the volleyball court, that middle part.
She's one of 14 AVCA Player of the Year semifinalists, and one of 2 that'll be playing here in Austin this weekend. Texas's Tori Stafford the other. Point South Florida.
That's a great swing. I really like that swing from Selman on the left side. She had great reach on it. She stands at 6'4". I expect Selman to go back to that high line swing again.
Long off Richardson. Down the stretch in set 1, 20-19 Nittany Lions.
Coming down the stretch, it's going to come down to who can minimize the unforced errors. First ball side out and or dig to convert in transition.
Richardson for Ivy. Foster sets up Beckham. That's long, but touched at the net. We're tied.
The Bulls were working on this in practice, knowing that they were going up against that big block of the Natty Lions. And what teams do in practice to implement a big block is they'll put a boogie board there on the other side of the net, and these athletes just chip off of that boogie board for reps upon reps.
South Florida had a 5-point lead earlier this set, with 3 errors since. Martin, yes. What a tough angle, and just being able to get it in.
Going from 4 to 4 there on the left side. Incredible reach on an out-of-system play. Nonetheless, it's an out-of-system play with a close block, and she's still managing, because of her point of contact, to beat the block.
Blocked. Martin there yet again.
Kennedy Martin ready to close out set number 1, and she does it by going back-to-back points, 1 with a big hill, 2 with an absolute roof of a block.
Her second block. She also has an ace and is 7 of 8 on her swings. Oh, Andrash gets to the floor to keep the point alive. So does Selman, but Grimes just can't get to it. What an effort from both squads.
We talked about Andrash being the heartbeat of University of South Florida. This is exactly why she keeps her team alive at all costs. What a big off-blocker defensive play for the Bulls to earn that point.
Brianna McMillan checks in for South Florida to serve. 4 aces on the season for the freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. McMillan keeping the point alive. Andrash. Selman. Penn State 2 points away from the set.
Penn State having just that chip on their shoulder of knowing what it takes to win in postseason play, and this is where we're going to see it in the red zone, being able to close out a set in the elongated rallies.
Jillian Grimes to serve. Not the perfect set, but Garvin was able to hang long enough and get enough on the ball to give South Florida the point.
Garvin up in the air on setter ball contact, waiting for that gap set, which is a set about 3 feet in front of the setter. And because she was up in the air with that big attacking window, she was able to just get a hand on it that last second.
Maya Thomas. Andrash. Selman just got it in. Set point.
What a play by Selman in transition for the Natty Lions. Really challenging, hard cross and finding that sideline.
Penn State fans anticipating their squad taking set one. Martin serves. Andrash says not yet.
Andrash is going to go blow for blow, punch for punch with whoever is across the net. It does not matter if it's the reigning national champion. Andrash is going to go for it every single time, and this is how she is such a huge part of this team. That tempo set to her is so fast.
Her 15th swing already, 4 kills. Long, and that gives Penn State set one. Penn State took the early lead. South Florida stormed ahead to lead by 5, but the defending national champs find enough late in set one to take it 25-23. Winner gets Texas or Florida A&M in round 2. A good start here in Austin. Start to the NCAA tournament here in Austin. Penn State, the 8th seed, takes set one over South Florida, 25-23, and Kennedy Martin was the star.
Kennedy Martin is scoring in the front row, in the back row, getting on different routes to bat 700 with 7 kills in set number one. She rallied her team back from being down the duration of set number one to South Florida to then close out closely there in the red zone, not to mention Martin able to earn 2 blocks as well, and those are 2 big momentum points, being able to earn those stuff blocks.
Already second in the nation coming in kills per set, just under 5.5, but as you just said, Victoria, 7 kills in set one, 2 blocks. She hit 700 and her teammates hit 087 in set one. It was enough for the Nittany Lions to take it 25-23. Teams hitting pretty even overall. Bulls 278, Nittany Lions 273. But service errors, in fact, the last point for Penn State coming off a Bull service error. They made 4 in set one, Penn State just 2.
And that was the difference early on, was the service errors from Penn State, giving that bit of cushion maybe a little bit at the beginning of set number one for South Florida. But Penn State was able to up that hitting percentage in the back third of set number one when they really got those juices flowing in transition, not to mention earning a few more first ball side outs.
Penn State 12-8 in the Big Ten. South Florida 12-4 in the American. But the Bulls really scheduled up in the non-con. Purdue, Tennessee, Florida, Minnesota, South Dakota State, Creighton, and Kansas. All NCAA tournament teams. Bulls lost to them all, but that schedule helping them to be 40th in the RPI and get an at-large bid. Once again, Penn State goes to number 18, and that begins set 2.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, David. That's exactly where I would want to set right now if I was Penn State. Here's Martin again with 2 up, but being consistent to carve up and around those blocks.
Now, some of these South Florida players familiar with Martin 2 seasons ago at Florida. She had 27 kills in a win over the Bulls. Bulls do get the point, and we're tied at 1 early in set 2. Such a fun time of year. Texas and Florida A&M to come. 30 minutes after the completion of this match. Second round action. 1 match tomorrow here at Gregory Gym. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Victoria Dennis, I'm David Salzman. And we'll be with you both days here from the University of Texas. It's a miscommunication, but Nichols able to keep the point alive for Penn State. And Andrash gets the point for South Florida, her 5th kill to lead the Bulls.
Bulls taking care of an unforced error via communication on the side of Penn State, being able to control that ball in transition to score.
Andrash double-digit kills her last 21 matches. Martin, yet again, unstoppable so far.
Martin's range, her vision, her height, and being able to use her height to her advantage. She makes sure she's fully elongated on this hand-to-ball contact every time. High elbow, high hand.
Grimes keeping the point alive for the Nittany Lions, and Martin gets another one.
I mean, talk about a tempo set in the back row. Martin being able to get there just quick enough on that fast set.
She's 3 for 3 this set, 10 kills already. Great swing by Bruce.
Bruce continues to be lethal in the backcourt for South Florida. She's really good on that big attack because of her step close. It's very powerful. It's to the ball, being able to have a lot of momentum behind it.
Bruce is 3 for 3. Bruce again, yes! The net helped out, and it just falls in.
The sophomore finding placement, not power there for the Bulls. Great vision, 4 kills on the match, hitting 1,000. I'd say that's pretty good.
Her head coach, Jolene Shepherdson, says she is so steady and mature for a youngster. Just a sophomore, her first year in a South Florida jersey. Andrash yet again. I think her loudest yell also after that swing.
Andrash is a spark plug and a half. Look at that tempo set to the pin. This is exactly how she's able to score in system so well, is because her arm swing is so fast. As soon as she's in the air, her arm is going.
Martin just missed. And it's a 6-3 South Florida lead.
David, to touch on Andrash again, number 16 for the Bulls. She is well over 1,600 career kills, which ranks 7th among Division I players and 4th in USF program history.
6 kills for Andrash. That was Martin's first air, by the way, after 10 kills. Selman, long. South Florida point. 5 straight points for the Bulls. Katie Schumacher Colley's Nittany Lions overcame a 5-point deficit in set 1 to win 25-23. Bulls the early edge here in set 2 as Thomas serves again. Thomas is there off the Martin swing. Andrash. Grimes keeps the point alive. Nichols. Her first kill.
The Bulls playing scrappy defense, but Nichols being able to find that ball. 6'2" freshman. Coach mentioned she's an offensive threat. Sees very well for a freshman.
Thomas keeps the point alive again. Andrash, though, is long. Point Penn State. Bulls looking to their head coach, and we'll see if Jolene Shepherdson challenges this. No move so far.
Haven't seen a challenge yet this ball game.
She'll pass. Penn State's cut the deficit in half. Garvin swings it into the net, and the Nittany Lions within 1.
Nichols was there closing the block back to that left side of the court.
Second chance on Andrash. Gets the point. Her 7th kill.
Great recycle play by Andrash and the Bulls being able to find another way to score in transition. I mentioned before that their coverage game is going to be prevalent going up against Penn State, and that's exactly what they're doing. The coverage for the Bulls right now is really allowing the offense to go and take big rips and really letting them have that confidence to go up and swing away.
Point Penn State, touched at the net off the Juravisha swing.
Penn State with their setter Lyon in the front row. Watch for them to spread that offense pin to pin.
Richardson had a fight at the net with Juravicius. Chance for Ivy. From the middle, it's Garvin.
Garvin doing a great job of getting up in transition to score for the Bulls. Now, if your team is able to funnel the ball to the middle in any way, that's huge. If they're able to do it in transition, that's even bigger. And Garvin is up, available in the air. She's a hard worker, has a never say die mentality.
Point Penn State. Mendelson gets the kill. Brother Juravicius, I apologize, it's 9-8.
Juravicius is a firecracker. She's aggressive. She's starting to move the ball around that much more on the pin and making the right choices when she's swinging.
That hits the line. Richardson gets the point for the Bulls.
Richardson stands at 6 foot, so when she's jump setting, her reach is well above the top of that tape. Great vision here from Richardson. Watch as she identifies the block. Was dug in, nobody there. Just a little placement, not power.
It's exactly where she wanted it. Blocked. Ivy.
There is no better feeling in the sport of volleyball. An absolute housed block by Ivy, shutting down the Natty Lions. A big blocking threat for the Bulls. Now 38 blocks for Ivy on the season.
Mendelson that time hung in the air and was able to get it over. South Florida hitting .353 this set, up 2. Penn State at .267. Faldudo serves. Long. Third service error for Penn State, the first for either team this set.
There's always that ace to error ratio that you talk about with your team and your coach is, okay, how aggressive are we going to be from the service line? Are we okay with X amount of service aces or errors? And that comes with placement and power at the service line, and that's a conversation that you need to have throughout the duration of the game. Right now, the Natty Lions have to be a little bit more consistent at the service line.
Josh on the floor to keep the point alive. And it leads to the Bulls' point. Beckham.
The Bulls are finding ways to score from all areas on the court, and it's really every athlete on this team right now creating opportunity and finding ways to score. Beckham being one of them on the right side. The senior outside hitter, standing at 5'11", is getting up and creating opportunity because she's so fast in the air.
So South Florida will challenge this call. Right now on the floor, it's a service error by Addie Bruce. We'll take another look, as will Jenna Termolen at the monitor. This is an old place, but the mics do work. But they will review the serve as the Bulls hope that this will be a 14-9 score. At Gregory Gym, the home of Texas volleyball for many a decade, as the fans slowly file in. Capacity is just over 4,500. And it's somewhat similar to Rec Hall where Penn State plays, where the fans are right on top of the action. Rec Hall just a bit newer than this place, which again has been the home for Texas volleyball for quite some time. And in fact, in 2015, one Victoria Dennis was here and got 22 kills in a win over LSU.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, thanks for the shout out. I appreciate that. That was a fun ball game.
Penn State took set one, 25-23. The challenge does go South Florida's way as Bruce gets the ace. We take another look. This is a better angle and just
on the back side of that end line. That's all you need. Game of inches.
Bruce's first ace. She's also 4 for 4 on her swings. South Florida led by 5 at one point in set one, could not hold on. They're up 5 here in set 2. Hartfield gets the point for the Bulls.
Middle action is huge for the Bulls. They're finding a lot of success down the middles. They're getting up, they're fast, they're speedy, finding ways to score.
Jolene Shepherdson helped South Florida as a player to an NCAA tournament appearance, and this year her Bulls in the big dance for the first time in 23 years. And it's a family affair because Jolene's sisters, Justine and Janine, both live in Austin, so an easy trip for both of them to make the trip here to Gregory Gym, cheering on their sister and hoping that the Bulls can get the victory over the defending national champs.
It's always a family affair in volleyball. There's always somebody somewhere.
15-9 is the South Florida lead in set 2. Service error out of the timeout by Addie Bruce. If you're Penn State head coach Katie Schumacher-Colley, what was the message to your team?
Take it one play at a time and play with maybe just a little bit more fire. I mean, you have the target on your back. Everybody is going to play their best game against you, and you have to know that.
Andrash the point.
Great answer back from Andrash and the Bulls to earn that first ball side out, and they've been doing a really good job at it here in set number 2. Currently hitting a 429. Penn State batting just 222.
Amelia Vastasega, sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida, comes in to serve. Long set from Martin to Selman. What can Kennedy Martin not do?
You said it first. What can Kennedy Martin not do? That is such a tough set to make all the way across the court from the fan zone. Perfect placement, apex location for an out-of-system play.
Her 21st assist of the year, maybe her best. Beckham gets the point for South Florida, and they're back up 6.
Beckham doing exactly what she does, and that is find ways to score because she is fast, she is quick to the ball, she's that spark plug that the Bulls love to have.
Maya Thomas strong match so far, 5 digs. Comes on to serve. Thomas, nice for dig number 6, and the Bulls get the point. Andrash again.
Thomas doing a great job playing as a defensive specialist coming into the back row for the Bulls, number 3 for South Florida, and she is a fiery player. Coach said she's so fun to have on the court. She'll run down a ball that's 50 feet away. She'll run through a wall for her team. She reads well, and she's fast.
Says she has that Brazilian spice. Long off Selman, and the Bulls extend their lead.
Maya Thompson doing a great job at the service line, earning this run yet again for South Florida.
Penn State calls timeout. Kennedy Martin had 7 kills in set 1, just 3 so far in set 2. And you had mentioned before, Victoria, the strong hitting by the Bulls. They're up to 478 this set. Penn State, the 8th seed, looking to advance to the second round tomorrow. We saw a few seeds get knocked off yesterday and a couple, I think, today in NCAA tournament action. The highest seed to lose, BYU. They were a 5 seed. Cal Poly from the Big West took them in 5 sets, so Cal Poly will take on USC tonight. Utah State took the first 2 sets, avoided the reverse sweep against 7 seed Tennessee. There were 6 5-set matches in day 1 overall. Last season, just 4 in all of the first round.
I played in the Big West Conference against Cal Poly San Luis Obispo with UC Irvine, and Cal Poly SLO has always been a gritty team, and they find ways to score and ways to win, and I had them on my bracket, so represent Big West.
Marquette and Michigan both have won already. And Florida leading Rice 2 sets to none. That is on the campus of SMU in Dallas. St. Thomas of Minnesota trying to pull off the upset as well. even at a set apiece in their match. I know Penn State's the 8th seed, but you mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, the target on their back. They're the defending national champions. They're the only program in the country to play in all 45 NCAA Division I women's volleyball tournaments since it started in 1981. A challenging year for them. 18-12, 12-8 in the Big Ten. South Florida, of course, just wants a win in the NCAA tournament for the first time in over 2 decades. But to get it over the defending national champions will be quite a mark in their program history. Oh, with the dive, it was Faldudo keeping the point alive for Penn State. And Thomas is able to do the same for South Florida. Martin gets it blocked. Andrash on her own.
Defense wins championships, and we're seeing big defensive plays on both sides of the net, but it's Maya Thompson coming in and keeping her team alive. Watch Maya being able to find these scrappy plays, and then of course ending with a massive block.
This time it was Foster with the dive. Grimes on the other end. Andrash yet again. She is now even with Martin in kills with 10.
Energy is contagious, and it starts with defense. It bleeds into your offense. 10 kills, 4 digs for Andrash.
Both Andrash and Martin top 8 in career kills among active Division I players. Both are putting on a show here in Austin. That falls in for an ace. It is all Bulls in set 2. Timeout, Nittany Lions.
Unbelievable plays for South Florida. Playing fearless, playing relentless, playing with nothing to lose. And they have leaned on that momentum, having some fun with it, getting their dance on as they should. Big smiles for South Florida, and they're earning it. They're putting balls away at a high clip. Multiple athletes on the floor right now with outstanding numbers. 3 athletes hitting above 400. They have Gavin batting 500, Bruce hitting 667. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
And it is Andrash leading the way this set with 6 kills. She's from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Jolene Shepherdson and her staff have a history recruiting Brazilian players. There was the trip down there where Shepherdson found Andrash her senior year of high school. And not only did she recruit her to come play volleyball, she also helped her with her English, since international players need to pass an English test to join USF. They talk every week. Shepherdson would test her on her English as part of their Zooms, and in between those calls, Andrash would watch cartoons as a form of practice to learn the language.
It's the best way to learn another language. I had to do that when I was learning Spanish in South America, but it is very impressive. The English test, as Coach was mentioning for Andrash, it is very difficult to take, but she never backed down. She was having those uncomfortable conversations in English, and you really just have to put one foot in front of another, and that's exactly what she did.
That's worked out. Andrash, 2-time reigning American Player of the Year. Lions sets up Jordan Hopp, and Hopp, graduate from Alliance, Nebraska, gets her first kill of the day.
Hopp getting on her horse in transition. That's a very difficult and athletic thing to do, being able to run that slide in an uncomfortable situation, but she was able to do it and find a point.
Andrash again.
Andrash continuing to put up numbers upon numbers, well over 1,600 career kills.
7 kills, 1 error this set. Had 4 kills, 3 errors in set 1. And her service error into the set. Penn State took it 25-23. South Florida's done a much better job on Martin in set 2. Grimes has been all over the floor so far for the Nittany Lions, but that is long. Was it touched at the net? No. Plenty of set points for the Bulls.
The Bulls dug in, playing defense, keeping their side alive, and now a possible set point.
Second chance, Jaravicius. Ivy finishes off set 2. A dominant performance by South Florida, and we're even at a set apiece.
17 digs in set number 2 for South Florida, batting .419. It was an all-around team effort. Huge victory there in set number 2 for the Bulls.
Bulls lost a big lead in set 1. Set 2, they dominate 25-12. We'll go at least 4 in our first run match of the day. December 18th and 21st, Kansas City, side of the NCAA tournament, national semifinals and championship match. All these teams want to get there. Winner of Colorado, Indiana will advance to the regional semifinal, which will be here in Austin if Texas can get through. First, the Longhorns get Florida A&M, and then the winner of South Florida, Penn State. On the other end of the quadrant, Wisconsin, North Carolina, round 2 tonight. Stanford hosts their part of the quadrant, Utah Valley tonight, and then either Arizona or South Dakota State tomorrow. There is so much history in just the Texas quadrant. When you look at Texas, Stanford, Wisconsin, and of course Penn State, Victoria Dennis, the last 4 national champions are part of this quadrant. 14 of the last 18 national champions, Penn State getting the most, but also 8 of the last 18 runners-up. It's not just Penn State, it's all 4 teams that I just mentioned. Such rich history, and all in the same quadrant here in this year's tournament.
This quadrant is probably one of the toughest I have ever seen, and to touch on Stanford specifically, I called their match against Pitt at Stanford, and that game alone could have been for a national championship. I'm just telling you, the level of conference play is through the roof. It's at an all-time high, and then now you come into postseason, and truly on any given night, it could be anybody's game.
Yeah, just here in what they call the Gregory Gym, 11 all-conference selections, 3 conference player of the year winners, and then 12 national championships between Penn State and Texas. If Kennedy Martin and the Nittany Lions can win here today, of course, likely they will face Texas, a tall task for Florida A&M coming up in match 2, which will begin 30 minutes after the completion.
And to your point, David, if Penn State wins this match, Saturday's match tomorrow, and if Texas wins their game, the matchup could feature the last 3 national champions, 2 of the last 3.
How good has Penn State been? 26-0 in the tournament round of 64 since this was expanded to 64 teams in 1998 as they get an ace to begin set 3. But they fell in set 2, 25-12. Victoria, that's just the 4th set they've lost in round 1 since 1998.
And South Florida did it really well. They put up some serious numbers, as we mentioned before. Multiple athletes on the floor right now for South Florida, hitting over 400. They were able to find ways to play defense, have really scrappy plays on their side of the net. They're covering, they're scoring in transition. It looks really good, and Penn State right now, they're on their heels. The Bulls have come in, and they have been that bull in the arena, and right now, Penn State has to answer back.
Saldudo got the ace, now serves again. They go to Andrash, and Andrash gets her 12th kill to lead everyone.
Andrash has showed us how many ways she is able to score and why she's so lethal. She is not afraid to challenge high line, what we just saw. She's not afraid to challenge high hands off the block or even just be fast. Her set barely clears the top of the antenna when you're watching it in real time. That's how quick she's getting on this ball with first tempo offense.
As a squad, the Bulls, 31 kills, just 6 errors. They're hitting .368. Penn State opponents coming in at .232. Violation by Vashta Sega.
A foot fault violation here in the sport of volleyball. You cannot step on or over the end line when you're serving.
Grimes, 6 sticks so far, serves. Andrash again.
There's that creativity. Andrash being able to find ways to score in a yellow light scenario. I like to call these yellow light scenarios with my club team that I coach. And it's a play where you identify in real time. Do I have a green light swing? Can I go for it? No? Okay, now it's a yellow light swing. I have to find a solution to the play, and that's exactly what Andrash did.
9 kills, 1 error in her last 15 swings. That's Bruce from the back row.
Bruce continuing to be steady on that back row attack. Penn State has to pay attention to when Bruce is in the back row because the Bulls really like to find her there on that route.
Bruce, 5 of 7. Maya Thomas serves. And Grimes able to get to it just in time. Off on the set, as Garvin was on the slide, Penn State gets the point.
Penn State got a little bit lucky there on that point. That very much should have been a point for the Bulls. Miscommunication there on the play. With that being said, Penn State needs to find a way to get on a run if they want to come out on top in this ball game.
Galdudo with a nice dig as they go to Martin. Red hot in set 1 with 7 kills. That gives her 11 on the match.
Playing right back defense and attacking on the right back half of the court is Martin, and she does a great job of going straight down the line. That's a very hard kill to defend.
Martin serve long. It's 4-all here in set 3.
Watch for Penn State to find Martin here in the back court on that back row attack, in system and out of system.
Andrash with an ace today. Serves again. Thomas again a vacuum from the back row. Selman, we haven't called her name in some time. Maybe her best swing of the day.
Selman finding ways to score. That's exactly what her role is on the court. Her passing game is huge for them. Watch for her to continue to be steady there in serve receive, but watch for Penn State to get Selman going there on the left side.
Thomas into the seats to keep the point alive. Juravicius.
Juravicius is a firecracker. She's aggressive. She knows how to move the ball around, and she can score on both pins and finds ways to score, especially those high hands off the blocker.
Eddie Schumacher colleague calls her our firecracker. South Florida gets the point after the Ivy swing.
Another unforced error on the side of Penn State, being able to keep South Florida continuously in this game. Can the Bulls be able to find a couple ways to score here in transition?
The libero Foster serves. Lucky bounce off the net and the ace.
Foster's saying liberos can score too, and I know exactly where that is. It's at the end line. Sometimes that tape is your best friend or your worst enemy.
Juravicius' second chance. She gets another one.
Great work there by Juravicius. She stands at 6'2", so she has great reach on that ball, and she keeps channeling and challenging that 5-6 seam. So that's this back left corner of the court, and it's usually open even though the middle back is shifted that way. If you can hit a deep 5-6 seam, your hitting percentage drastically increases.
Ivy again.
A fast arm from Ivy. And with a smile on her face, of course. Ivy, the junior outside hitter for the Bulls, stands at 6'1", has great range.
Net not kind that time to the Bulls as Penn State takes the lead back. 8-7 Nittany Lions in set 3. Florida out of the SEC, sweeping fellow American squad Rice. They took the American regular season crown. South Florida was second. Tulsa third, won the conference tournament. Hartfield with a kill from the middle.
Great route there by Hartfield, getting on that gap set in front of her setter. She's up in the air on setter ball contact, creating that window of opportunity for Richardson to find her to give her that ball.
Martin used all of her 6'6" frame to be able to get that point.
She did. She reached really high for that play, but was able to find success there, throwing it down into the donut, that middle part of the court. With the point-for-point action, both teams trying to find their momentum here in set number 3. First ball side out has been okay on both sides of the net. I expect the Bulls to continue to lean on that strength, be able to control that first ball contact.
Baldudo started the set with an ace, serves again. Beckham gets the point for the Bulls. Both teams going back and forth now.
Well, it starts with a pass, and that's Addie Bruce, number 12 for the Bulls. She does a really great job of holding her platform on contact. Watch as she was low, holding her platform, guiding it with her angle to target, establishing that play for the Bulls.
Vastasega on to serve. Ryan setting up Mendelson. Set up this time for Martin. Andrash was right there. South Florida in front.
What a play. Watch as Gavin is able to help close, but it's Andrash who gets full ball. That right hand, it's a big swing block, all that momentum pressing back into the court.
Her second block of the afternoon.
Hey, watch the wrist, Rick.
Second time the wall has been there for the Bulls. And it leads to the South Florida point as that's long.
South Florida is playing disciplined defense. They're not guessing right now. They're reading their opponents and they're reacting in real time. That's exactly how they're able to get so many blocks, block touches, controlled digs around the front row and the back row. The back row fully trusts that the block is going to be at the right place at the right time. Everybody is just doing their job right now for South Florida.
Second time that Vastasega has her foot too far on the serve. South Florida just up 1 despite hitting 600 this set. Penn State at 214. Setting up Andrash. Martin gets it blocked. Garvin.
Unbelievable play for Garvin. Watch as Garvin is able to step close on this out-of-system play. She's disciplined with her hand. She's not reaching for the ball. She just takes away her space. And it's very important for blockers to have their right and left hand as individual locations, so they're not reaching for the ball like you're diving into a pool. She doesn't do that. She stays wide on her block, takes away space.
Martin, no question that time. Point Nittany Lions.
Martin trying to establish a little bit of rhythm here for Penn State. As she rotates to the back row, watch for her on that D ball. The D ball is that back row right side attack.
Lyon for Selman, yes, tied up.
Selman does a really great job of attacking in that 5-6 seam. She continues to do it because she's getting her feet to the apex of the ball, allowing her that opportunity to be consistent with that swing.
7th kill for Selman, 28th assist. The graduate setter and Lion. Andrade was able to hang just long enough.
Another controlled transition defensive play for the Bulls to score. They've been so steady. Thomas coming in, playing defense, allowing the Bulls to really excel offensively.
Andrade and Martin, both in the top 8 in career kills among active players, and both have come through for their squad so far today. Hop gets it in.
Hop going off 1 foot, running that slide behind, does a great job of creating space on the slide and attacking back towards the sideline.
Her 2nd year at Penn State, 4 years at Iowa State prior, and coming in over 1,100 career kills. Ivy.
The set location from number 3, Maya Thomas. What a great lifted set, and it's an out-of-system play. She really creates that opportunity. Here's Thomas on the set, perfectly 3 feet inside, 3 feet off the tape. Perfect set to earn a point.
Neither squad is led by more than 2 here in this all-important 3rd set. Bulls now up 2 with the ace. 15-13. And a timeout on the floor. South Florida dominated set 2. Penn State took set 1, 25-23. Both squads stepping their game up in this all-important 3rd set in Austin. Maria Clara Andrade leading the way for South Florida. Kennedy Martin leading the way for Penn State. 13 kills Victoria, but just 6 since the end of set 1. How much more perhaps do the Nittany Lions have to get her involved?
Penn State has to get Kennedy Martin involved. She attacks at such a high level. The issue is they haven't really been able to, because I think of the first ball contact. They haven't really been able to get her in system at a higher clip, which they usually are able to do.
Long off Juravicius. This is the biggest lead for either squad in set 3.
Penn State has to be able to find a better pass right now in serve receive.
The Bulls are hitting .533 this set. Foster serves again. Well, we talked about getting number 18 involved, and she comes through.
It's like they heard us. We'll take the stat there, David. Take another look here with you. Here's Martin unleashing on that ball. As I mentioned before, it's a back row attack, but she's broad jumping and contacting this ball well like a front row attacker. That's how it is so elite and so lethal. 14 kills, 3 digs for Kennedy Martin.
It's her 82nd straight match with double-digit kills when she's played at least 3 sets. Had 26 kills in 4 sets in the Nittany Lions' last match against Iowa. 34 kills against Ohio State in mid-November. Lexi Jin serves for the first time. Point from the middle for Hartfield.
Hartfield up and attacking fast. The Bulls are passing well to help with that connection, and the Bulls want to find Hartfield when and if they can. Hartfield batting just above 350 on the season, and right now she's batting .571 on the ball game.
Into the net for Richardson. And a key Penn State point to get to within 2.
Richardson is back row right now for the Bulls, meaning she has all 3 offensive threats in the front row.
Lion serves. keeps the point alive, but then Grimes could not get to it in time. South Florida still gets the point.
Penn State has to play defense. They have to play better defense. Yes, you have to give credit to South Florida, but if Penn State wants to beat South Florida, they have to play way better defense. And I'm not talking about just trying to get the ball up. Yes, that's number one, but number two, if you're Penn State, you need to control that ball on defense.
That is the 10th service error for the Bulls to just 4 for Penn State. Nittany Lions' last 2 points have come off the service error, and it's 18-16. But back to your point, Victoria, for the match, South Florida is hitting .405. They just have 7 errors. Nittany Lions have 16 errors on their swing so far. Faldudo serves. Lyon for Mendelson, yes! Nittany Lions within 1.
Good vision there from Mendelson, standing at 6'5". She's able to have that reach up and over the block. Placement not power there from number 44. Previously played at Nebraska, freshman, sophomore year.
Second team All Big Ten this season, hit .374. Long, and the Nittany Lions have tied it up.
Looks like South Florida is going to challenge. From my POV, David, I thought that ball was in.
Jolene Shepherdson will challenge. Both our teams with their 2 challenges left.
The original call was out. South Florida was challenging that the ball was in.
That's such a key point. Jana Termolen will take a look at the review monitor, and we will give you as many views as we can. Right now, the score is 18-all in set 3 with the match tied at a set apiece.
This is a great challenge from South Florida. They have both of their challenges still in their pocket. Both teams allotted 2 challenges, and if you use it and lose it, you lose that challenge. But if you use it and win the challenge, you keep it. All challenges reset if and when there is a 5th set.
Here's our first look. Not the best angle, but that looked a bit long to me. Laura Cortazar was right on it. So Jolene Shepherdson getting the explanation. And Katie Schumacher-Colley says, tell me also what's going on the floor. Winner of this match gets Texas or Florida A&M. That match will start 30 minutes after the completion of this one. It's been a good one between the defending national champs and a South Florida team, their first appearance here since 2002.
Due to technical issues, the play remains as called. South Florida retains their challenge.
So due to technical issues, so obviously Jana Termolen was not able to see every angle from her review monitor. The one look we got, it did look perhaps that the ball was a bit long. So Penn State gets the break. Now, South Florida keeps its challenge because Jana Termolen couldn't look at all the angles that she hoped was available to her. South Florida comes back in Beckham, and the Bulls take the lead at 19-18.
Beckham is such a fun athlete to watch. She stands at 5'11", and this is something that I tell my club team. You don't have to be a 6'4" athlete to play at the Division I level. You can be 5'11", you can be 5'10", but can you get your feet to the ball? Can you have the vision and range? And that's exactly what Beckham does offensively and defensively.
Selman, her 8th kill to tie it up.
Coming into the red zone, Selman here is going to continue to challenge high and deep. She's been very successful there, and overall as an athlete, if you're able to score within 6 inches from the sideline, really tie the perimeter of the court, your attacking percentage increases drastically.
Blocked! Martin beats Andrash.
Martin in the right place, going head up on her attacker and then pressing back into the seam, being able to take all ball on that block. Watch as Martin goes head up, she finds the apex and then presses those hands quick across the tape, just grabbing ball.
3rd block for Martin, which could not come at a better time, and both Martin and Andrash, our stars, have come through and then some. First Andrash for the Bulls.
Andrash finds ways to score in system, out of system. She is elite with her vision, being able to just find opportunities and showcase every tool she has in the toolbox. As for Kennedy Martin on the right side for Penn State, she's scoring in the back row, she's scoring in the front row. Standing at 6'6", she's able to be a huge block there for Penn State. Both of these athletes definitely are stars to watch.
14 kills each coming in. Andrash 7th among active Division I players in kills with 1606, and Kennedy Martin 8th among all active Division I players in kills. Both players also with 3 blocks and leading their squads. Both hoping to play tomorrow against either Texas or Florida A&M. 7:30 Eastern start here on ESPN+. A 5-1 Penn State run has given them a 1-point lead. Penn State dominated in set 2, 25-12. Just the 4th first-round set they've lost since 1998. Of course, most of those matches at home. Challenging season for the Nittany Lions as they come in this season to the tournament at 18-12. On the other end, the block ties it up.
Relentless, disciplined defense. Huge blocking game here for the Bulls. They've done a really great job of just being disciplined, pressing their hands across the tape. They're not guessing, they're getting block touches, and just playing at an elite level.
It was Garvin coming in, tied for the team lead in blocks per set. They go to number 18, and she delivers.
Fast down the line there for Kennedy Martin. Again, attacking fast and high, bringing her to the back.
15 kills, 3 blocks, and an ace as she'll serve. Free ball perhaps. Twice Hop has kept it alive. Martin. Penn State up 2.
Penn State going against the flow there, creating opportunity. Lyon finding Martin in the backcourt. I want to see Lyon continue to try and go against the flow there, running the offense for Penn State.
South Florida timeout. 22-20, a late Nittany Lions run has given them the edge. So also in the Texas quadrant, Indiana's taken the first 2 sets against Colorado. How about the Hoosiers? First NCAA tournament appearance in 15 years. If Indiana wins, they move on to the regional semifinal, which would be here in Austin if Texas can defeat Florida A&M tonight in either South Florida or Penn State tomorrow.
It's exciting to see the Hoosiers come back from, going through the trenches a little bit there, but I called Indiana at UCLA, and they looked great. They looked strong, ready to go, and I expect them to have a deep run.
They were picked 11th in the Big Ten in the preseason, yet went 14-6 in conference play, 23-7 overall, an RPI of 18. Now, what's at stake here? Of course, both these teams, such different tournament histories. Last time Penn State lost in the first round, you got to go all the way to 1989. That was before the tournament even had 64 teams, while South Florida is looking to get to the second round for only the 3rd time ever. Penn State ranked number 25 in the latest AVCA coaches poll. There's so many ways to tell you about their history. They've been ranked in the last 565 coaches polls. If they lose here today, that streak is likely to end. Martin serves. In! Jolene Shepherdson looking on. Does she challenge? That was right in front of Talita Benavides, but then you saw 2 Bulls players looking back at their head coach in protest. Now, there were technical issues the last time South Florida tried to challenge. Jenna Termolen takes a look at the review monitor now to look at this serve.
Take a look with you. Has to tag any part of that red line.
You can see a little white, can you, between the ball?
Upon
and
review,
that
the
line?
call is confirmed. South Florida loses their challenge.
So Jolene Shepherdson's down to one challenge, and the run continues. 8-2 now by the defending national champions, and it's their biggest lead of the set.
With Martin at the service line on this float serve receive for the Bulls has to have a fast reaction with their platform, keeping it away from their body, creating an early angle.
That was Martin's second ace, 47th of the season. Almost got another one. And Andrash, a ways away from the net, gets the point for South Florida.
Andrash continuing to find the holes in the defense of Penn State. They're rotated a little bit on her, opening up deep area one.
After the Martin ace a couple of points ago, Andrash with an ace today. See if she can return the favor. By Foster, right back to the other side of the court. Long off Ivy. No touch. Set point Penn State.
Looks like South Florida is going to challenge a touch.
Jolene Shepherdson will challenge.
Now's the time, David.
But if you lose this challenge, then they will have none in set 4.
I say use it.
South Florida is challenging that there was a touch on the block.
And to your point, you obviously challenged this, number one, thinking that there was a touch at the net, but also looking to avoid set point here in set 3 with the winner going up 2-1. Our first look. Does it touch the tip of Jordan Hopp's finger?
Maybe the left hand, if you look closely. It's going slow on this replay. I'm looking at Jordan Hopp, her left hand there on that replay.
Again, the initial ruling is no touch. Is there conclusive evidence to overturn this call? Penn State will either have 3 set points or just be up 1 here late in set 3. Nittany Lions came back from a big deficit in set 1, took it 25-23. No such luck in set 2. Jolene Shepherdson's Bulls rolled 25-12. And at one point, we're up 3 late in this set before this Penn State run. Jolene Shepherdson, as a player, led South Florida to its last NCAA tournament appearance before this one in 2002. Here comes the ruling.
After review, the original call stands. South Florida loses their challenge.
We know we're going to set 4. South Florida will not have a challenge throughout.
This is how close it was. This is what they were looking at.
I saw no movement of the finger. That's such a hard call. Not enough to overturn the initial ruling on the court. You see no challenges remaining for Jolene Shepherdson. Penn State still has their 2, and they now have 3 set points to try to go at 2-1 with Emmy Selman to serve. Hit the pin. Penn State comes back to take set 3. The defending national champs have their backs against the wall, and they storm back to take a 2-1 lead.
Penn State being able to just squeak out there in set number 3. Batting .276. We'll see what they can do here.
Kennedy Martin leads the way late. Penn State 1 set away from the second round. Penn State, the defending national champs, I think showed that tournament experience late in set 3 after they were down 3 to South Florida. They stormed back to take the set 25-21, and they are up 2-1 on South Florida. Texas, of course, the hosts here. National champions 2 straight years before the Nittany Lions took the national title back. Wisconsin and Stanford in this Texas quadrant, and new Texas rival in the SEC, Kentucky, the national champion in 2020. Kennedy Martin stormed onto the scene late in set 3. 3 late kills and an ace. I mean, she looks relaxed. How much do you think tournament experience played a part in Penn State coming back in set 3?
I think it plays a huge part for Penn State being able to come back and really just grind out that win. They had to work for it their last set. The Bulls are not going to give them anything. They know that now, and they're leaning on that experience. They're leaning in the gritty trenches of postseason play, and we'll see what happens.
First point to South Florida, and it all started after the good Addie Bruce serve.
Bruce continuing to be steady at the service line. She has great hand-to-ball contact on her toss contact. She's tossing to her right shoulder, flat and square on the serve.
Point goes to Martin, as it was Beckham going into press row to try to keep the point alive.
That was just a very well athletic play from Martin. She had to find a way to keep her feet behind the line and then reach out in front and just create a play. That was very athletic from Martin.
Addie Lyon serves again. Point goes to Hartfield.
The Bulls establishing their middles early on here in the set to create one-on-one opportunities for their pin throughout the duration of this game.
Quietly, Imani Hartfield up to 6 kills without an error. That is long off Mendelson. An early 3-1 lead for South Florida as they look to force the 5th set. Winner gets Texas or Florida A&M. Blocked.
Andrash creating momentum by playing big defense. Watches Andrash, gets in front of her attacker. She is solo on this block, knows it, takes away the meat of the court.
(5-1) South Florida early in set 4.
An out-of-system play leading to an unforced error, and the Bulls have been able to utilize those plays going back to the service line, especially here, creating opportunity with those float serves.
Katie Schumacher-Cawley calls an early timeout here in the 4th set. Bulls rolling early in set 4, hoping this goes 5. You might not think there's any connection between these two squads, but Addie Bruce for South Florida and Addie Lyon for Penn State were teammates last season at St. Louis. In fact, Lyon was able to assist Bruce so many times that Bruce led the team in kills, and she was the 2024 A10 Rookie of the Year. They are still very good friends, and I'm sure both had a smile on their face when they realized they would be competing against each other here in the NCAA tournament. With Victoria Dennis, I'm David Salzman, and right out of the timeout, Imani Hartfield continues her run with the ace. It is 6-1 South Florida after Penn State rallied late in set 3 to go up 2-1.
Hartfield is an all-around volleyball athlete. She's playing middle blocker for the Bulls, standing at 5'9", and has a consistent serve for them as well.
5 straight points for South Florida. The high set for Andrade, and it falls in!
For me, that's the expected swing from Andrade. It's an out-of-system play. They're pushed far on the left side. Penn State has to identify that in real time, seeing that she's not going to have a fully loaded swing and adjust their defense, expecting the off-speed shot. They have to start picking those up.
Sometimes the stat sheet lies. For the match, South Florida is hitting 358. Penn State at just 168. It is the Nittany Lions to set away from round 2. And the slide, Mendelson gets it in to end the run.
Mendelson finding opportunity. She is always up and available to score up in the air. She's good at finding corners and also finding that middle part of the court.
6th kill for the senior for North Ogden, Utah. Faldudo into the net. It's 8-2 Bulls early in set 4.
Bringing Thomas to the service line. Thomas has gone on multiple service runs all season long for South Florida. A huge part of why this South Florida team has been successful this season.
13 digs for Thomas today. 4th straight match in double figures. Off the chest of Foster, Mendelson gets the point.
Penn State looking to score in transition here, especially with Martin in the front row. Can they find her, get her going there on the right side?
Free ball. Andrash. Oh, diving to the floor, Faldudo. Bruce. Point Bulls.
Unbelievable plays, but point is going to go to the Bulls. Bruce, elite defensive move, Penn State. But the Bulls in transition. That's Bruce on the big attack. You have to respect her when she's in the back row. South Florida wants to find her on that big.
Andrash serves. Andrash on her knees keeps the point alive. Oh, some miscommunication. Martin, but Andrash is there. Selman, Penn State gets the point.
Penn State being able to just stay patient and stay with it. Selman is a big factor in this for Penn State right now. She's been able to stay steady there on the left pin, especially in those chaotic plays. She's staying calm in the chaos.
Martin, 2 aces, including one late in set 3 as the Nittany Lions rallied to win it. Another ace.
When Kennedy Martin is serving, you have to attack your pass like a defensive move. That's how fast this serve is coming. Serve receive has to make more of a defensive move to the ball, attacking the serve.
She has 3 of the team's 5 aces today. Second chance, Ivy, blocked! Jordan Hopp.
The Bulls swinging low into the block there on this swing. It's a big block out in front of you, and especially when you have a huge blocker on the other side, you have to identify that and go ahead and swing high hands.
Here comes Penn State. South Florida calls timeout. Nittany Lions were down 5 at one point in set 1, rallied to take it 25-23, down 3 late in set 3, but a 10-5 run to end the set. And they went up 2 sets to 1. Of course, the Nittany Lions, the defending national champions, the last time they lost in the first round of this NCAA tournament was 1989, and since then, 35 consecutive wins in round 1. You go through the history of this program, 8 national titles, including 4 straight from 2007 through 2010. They've made the national semifinals 14 times, and they made it to the national championship match 11 times. At one point, they went 3 calendar years without losing a match, an amazing 109-match win streak, September 2007 to September 2010.
Penn State made it to at least the NCAA regional semifinal in each of Schumacher-Cawley's first 3 seasons.
And she says of Kennedy Martin, she's unbelievable, a joy to coach and a great teammate. And off her serve, here comes Penn State again. When they've needed a point, they've gone to number 18, but they needed a run. Kennedy Martin has come through. Bulls get the point. Off Ivy.
There's that touch the Bulls wanted. Continuing to swing high hands. Ivy doing a great job of that. Coach mentioning she plays with joy. She's a hard worker. Put in a lot of time and PT to be out here for her team.
Missed last year due to injury. And a key contributor here today. Service error, the 11th for South Florida. This off Foster. Emmy Selman, 9 kills on the day. Second to Martin will serve. Ace, her first.
Great serve from Spellman. Consistent hand-to-ball contact. She's hitting it flat in the middle of it with a strong wrist, like her wrist is in a cast. That allows her to create that float on the ball for it to drop.
That was her 9th ace of the season. And the dig by Selman from the back row. Martin, free ball, point Penn State. Jaravicious, Nittany Lions now within 1, and it didn't take long.
Richardson drifting on that block, trying to take something away. But Penn State chipping away, closing this gap.
It was 8-2 South Florida at one point. Hartfield was there to keep the point alive. Martin dives. Error by Andrash. An 8-2 Penn State run. And Jolene Shepherdson will use another timeout.
I want to see South Florida right now utilize Hartfield where they can. She's playing middle blocker, so she's middle front right now. And with Richardson as a front row setter, I would like to see the middle run behind here. Hartfield run behind Richardson, really just try and spread it as much as they can offensively, but you have to have a first ball contact right now. Penn State serving aggressive, being able to close that gap, getting South Florida out of system. But if they can be in system, I want to see Hartfield run behind Richardson and go against the left side of Penn State's court.
Both our coaches have already used timeouts this set. In fact, Jolene Shepherdson is now out of timeouts for the remainder of set 4. South Florida hitting awfully well, but running into a strong Penn State defense here in set 4. Just 143, but they're 318 for the match. Penn State at 062 this set, just 189 this match, but a set away from round 2.
It's postseason play. It's postseason play.
Maria Clara Andrash, 16 kills to lead South Florida. Kennedy Martin, 17. The superstars for both squads have come through. They're both top 8 in career kills among active Division I players. Martin, one of 14 AVCA Player of the Year semifinalists. Andrash, back-to-back American Conference Player of the Year.
And as the senior, Andrash continues to put up numbers. She has been a starter since her freshman year, so she feels very comfortable in her Bulls jersey.
But you go to Hartfield as you called for, and it leads to the South Florida point.
Great play for a first ball side out for the Bulls. I expect them to continue to try and find their middles here, especially Hartfield. She's continuing to be up in transition and available.
In a few gyms, there may have been room for Penn State to keep the point alive, but not here. Fans are right on top of the action. Can fit just over 4,500 in historic Gregory Gymnasium. Oh, what a swing by Martin off the chest of Tatiana Johnson. But Martin gets kill number 18 to match her jersey number.
Johnson saying, man, I almost had that with a smile on her face. She wore it like a champion. She was in the right place, just ricocheted in the wrong direction.
Sometimes a player's just too good. Martin is up to 342. Lexi Jin, freshman from Indianapolis, comes on to serve. Feathery touch, Beckham. South Florida back up.
Beckham being consistent, no errors on the ball game, and 6 kills to her name, hitting .538.
Second on the team in kills coming in behind Andrash. Senior from Atlanta, Georgia, who played last season at Mississippi State. Martin again. Once again, she comes through.
An in-system play, point Penn State. That's exactly what they need to do if they want to walk away with this ball game. Can you create in-system opportunity for Kennedy Martin to get on that ball, for her to have one-on-one opportunities? Because right now, she's had a pretty consistent close block out in front. I mean, for her, that's normal. She'll be able to put up numbers, but Penn State needs to be able to control that first ball contact to have all offensive threats up and available.
Once again, Martin. Yet again, a point for number 18.
I'd like to see the Bulls bring that block in and challenge Martin high down the line, especially with Foster in the libero jersey for South Florida. She'll be there on that left sideline.
Service air off Lyon. For all Kennedy Martin has done this set, we are tied now at 13. Bulls need this set to have this match go to 5.
Set is back row for the Bulls. Richardson playing right back defense.
Hartfield serves. Blocked this time. Garvin.
The Bulls block starting a little bit more inside. David, I think they're hearing us up here. But the Bulls block starting inside, taking away that hard cross. Garvin clamping down into the seam to earn that point.
Oh, Grimes kept with it. Another chance for South Florida. Oh, no one there in the front row. As Grimes made another great effort, the Big Ten Libero of the Year doing all she can to give her team the point, but instead South Florida's up 2.
Beckham swinging high and away with authority, challenging high line. What an amazing swing. Beckham being able to score on either pin.
Service error number 12 for South Florida, double the Penn State number. Jolene Shepherdson's squad looking to force set 5. She's used both her timeouts already this set. Penn State still with 1 as Faldudo serves.
Shepardson mentioning to us for their offense, they want to run very fast. They want to move the ball around. They want to have options all over the court, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Andrash places it down. Katie Schumacher-Colley is off her seat. South Florida with a 16-14 lead. I think she's going to challenge the point because it was ruled no touch at the net.
From my perspective, that ball was in. It did hit the back line.
Yeah, Talita Benavides for sure ruled that ball in.
Okay, Penn State is challenged that there was no touch on the play.
Yeah, a couple of Nittany Lion players went up to Liz McKnight, our first referee, to make sure what the official call was on the floor, and she said no touch. And then those two teammates turned to their head coach and said, you should challenge this. And so,
well, what caught my eye was with the line judges at first were saying it was in, but then it was out, and then now there's a block touch that they're challenging. So a lot of things happening here.
So you look at the hands of Mendelson. Okay, the initial ruling, I apologize, was a touch on the court. But as you said, it looked like the ball had placed in. We'll get it all sorted out with Janitor Mullen down on the floor. South Florida, their only win of a set so far, set 2, 25-12. Much closer in set 1 and set 3, but the defending national champs coming through both times. 25-23 in set 1, 25-21 in set 3. And here we go.
Upon review, there was no touch. The call is reversed. Penn State.
So, with there being no touch, I'm with you, Victoria. I thought initially that the ball was called in, but obviously that's not the case. So no touch, ball out. Penn State gets the point, and we're even at 15 in set 4.
Big play and point going in favor of Penn State. There was a slight miscommunication on the court, and the challenge at the end of the day was the touch challenge.
So Faldudo gets the serve again. Martin comes through once more. She is getting stronger as this match goes on.
And they're being able to find Martin to get more in system here. Penn State needed that point coming out of that challenge. Martin step closing to that ball, high point of contact as she does.
Josh and Martin fighting, and Penn State gets the point. Kennedy Martin beforehand just wanted a violation on Andrash. None was called, but Nittany Lions get the point anyway to go up 2. 21 kills, 4 blocks. After a couple of early errors this set, she's up to 6 kills, and you see her now with her determination and trying to fire up her teammates as they've gone on a huge run this set. They were down at 1.82. Blocked. All Nittany Lions. Remember, South Florida does not have a timeout to try to stem the tide.
Kennedy Martin has nothing but tunnel vision right now, and she's creating opportunity where she can. She's earning these big blocks, 4 to her name now on the ball game with 21 kills.
Bruce comes through.
And the Bulls are going to keep punching blow for blow. Bruce in the back row has been a consistent offensive threat. Penn State has to find her in transition and in serve receive. Bruce has continued to put up some serious numbers.
Texas fans here cheering for South Florida, yelling, Bruce, there it is, after her swing puts her team within 2. Now Thomas serves. Long. Point South Florida. A squad that has not been on this stage in 23 years. South Florida's first NCAA tournament appearance since 2002. Do they have enough to rally and force a 5th set against the defending national champs with all the tournament experience? Josh Richardson, but out. Point Penn State.
We've seen Andrash make this defensive off blocker play, just a little bit slow to that ball to try and get it up. I expect the Bulls to go to her here with this first ball side out.
Indiana does not lose a set in their 2 matches at home. They'll play here in Austin if Texas wins tonight and tomorrow. They have advanced to the regional semis. Penn State gets the point, and the Nittany Lions up 3 late in set 4.
Thomas is in serve receive for the Bulls. She's been a really great asset for a first ball contact.
For all Andrash has done today in this set, 1 kill, 4 errors. Bruce, violation at the net. Point Penn State.
Few unforced errors on the side of the Bulls, letting Penn State creep along here.
Jolene Shepherdson will substitute. Samaya Abdur-Rahim, freshman from Summit, New Jersey, comes in.
So that was a 6-2 substitution to allow all three offensive threats to be in the front row with a back row setter.
Ace. Defending national champs are pulling away in Austin. You knew it was a risk to take those 2 early timeouts, and perhaps it might not have made a difference. There's such an experience advantage to Penn State here today, but South Florida has not been able to stop this. Great dig by Faldudo. And blocked at the net. Garvin and Andrash both there.
Garvin, great vision, being able to patrol that net and earn another block for the Bulls. Watch for Garvin here to continue to earn those block touches. Total blocks on the match, 9 for South Florida. Penn State with 7.
Martin. Nittany Lions 2 points away.
Martin swings sharper and sharper and sharper. She's carving up the side of that ball at such a high velocity. She's contacting just the side of the ball. Watch as she's able to step close, contact the right side of the ball to bring it back towards the left side of the court.
Kennedy Martin and Penn State, this Nittany Lions program, 26-0. And the round of 64, since this event expanded to 64 teams in 1998. They've just lost 4 sets in that entire span, including one today. Oh, on her knee, somehow Thomas keeps the point alive. Andrash from the back row. Ivy! South Florida not done yet.
A controlled transition dig to put away. This is how the Bulls have showed up all night. Watch it, Andrash reaches for that ball outside of her body, allowing the Bulls to find another point in transition.
Foster serves. Service error. 13th for the Bulls today, and at the worst possible time, match point Penn State.
Penn State with a front row setter there with Lyon. Watch for them to spread that offense, finding Martin in the back row.
Selman serves. An ace to finish it. The defending national champs show their mettle and advance to round 2.
Penn State being able to grind it out, and they had to earn this win against South Florida. The Bulls came into the first round of the NCAA tournament in 23 years and showed the nation exactly what this program is. Very impressive.
A familiar program in round 2, 36 straight time. We will see Penn State as part of the NCAA tournament, second round. How much did tournament experience play a part? Obviously, Kennedy Martin played a part. 22 kills, hitting .341. She took over in set 4.
She absolutely took over. Tournament experience to her name. She is a winner at the end of the day, and she was going to do everything she could against this South Florida team to make sure that Penn State stayed alive. That's exactly what she did.
And congrats to South Florida. First NCAA tournament appearance since 2002. We won't be surprised if they are back in 2026. But it's Penn State, the defending national champs, defeating the Bulls in 4 sets. They move on to the second round tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN+. Nittany Lions will take on the winner of our second match, which begins in about 30 minutes between the 1 seed Texas and Florida A&M. But in match 1, Kennedy Martin and Penn State move on to round 2. Maria Clara Andrash finishes a tremendous career for South Florida. For Victoria Dennis, I'm David Salzman saying so long from Gregory Gym in Austin. Again, in a half hour, it'll be Texas and Florida A&M. This has been a presentation of ESPN.